awful conditions in Sydney today. And Blake Taaffe begins proceedings. The kick will go down to Dominic Young, and Jared Wairea-Hargreaves brings it forward. Viliami Kickow was there looking for quite an impact to get this one underway. Reid Marnie comes out, forces a mistake there from Young, and the Bulldogs make a statement to begin with.
Well, he does it so well, does he, Reid Marnie? It's no surprise. He leads the line speed with this Bulldogs team, gets up out of the line, a much bigger player. And hits Dominic Young front on. And they're going to challenge it by the look of it. They think there might have been a hand from Marnie in a raking
challenging the knock-on, mate.
Action. They're challenging the knock-on here.
Is this the earliest challenge ever? With 35 seconds of the game gone, Marnie comes forward, chest on chest, and the ball comes away. This is a real gamble on a night which could be tight and low scoring, going with the challenge this early.
You're just going to have a look at there. The shoulder is the first point of impact here. Whether there's a hand on the ball with the stripping action. Well, it was his forearm that got hold of the ball on the way down. So it's a tough decision here early in the game for the.
Just looking to see if it's a knock-on for the Roosters or Reid Marnie plays at the ball.
I wouldn't have thought Reid Marnie isn't a classic strip, you wouldn't think. Hand isn't sort of perched on the ball. His forearm certainly makes contact with it, but I don't think
he stripped at the ball there at all.
Reid Marnie is just affecting a tackle, and the ball is lost forward into the Bulldogs. This is unsuccessful.
Well, mate,
so inside the opening 60 seconds.
Okay, well, there's a lesson in that, then, that not everyone charges a ref from too out of challenge, isn't there? We're moving on. We're moving on. Yep.
Well, James Tedesco now might have hit him pretty hardly. That here we are, almost 80 minutes to go, and we don't have a challenge, which could be crucial because now the Bulldogs can take a few risks, try and play a little bit sneaky in the play the ball, and maybe force a couple of balls loose. And they can't challenge. Here's a chance for the Bulldogs. Blake Taaffe into space. Play number 1 for the blue and whites. And they're on the board already.
Well, you can put it down to Reid Marnie forcing the loose ball there from the second carry of the game. Dominic Young's a man that comes up with the error. They form the scrum in the middle of the park. We know what speed Blake Taaffe's got. Just have a look at him coming in the second man. There's the pass, gets on the outside of his man. Just too much pace. What an opening for the Bulldogs in front of their grand final winning team. Look at the speed, show and go, holds the ball out in front, gets down low early. And the Bulldogs, just like that, after a mistake from the Roosters in the second play, open the scoring. What a start.
Taaffe getting down low and sliding into the in-goal area to make it 4 points to 0. An unbelievable opening to this game. 2 plays for the Roosters. They roll the dice, lose their captain's challenge, and the Bulldogs score on play number 1. I've never seen it before.
Never seen it. It's amazing, the game, isn't it? We always see something new week in and week out. Taaffe's good enough to score the try. Difficult conversion, this one.
He hits an arrow straight from the sideline. What a kick by Matt Burton. The Bulldogs lead at 6 points to 0. Down to you, James Hooper.
The Bulldogs start with the hot hand, and it all comes off the back of Reid Marnie, the little number 9, forcing that error from Dominic Young, a turnover, and then off the scrum. Blake Taaffe, brought to the club from the South Sydney Rabbitohs this season, just spots a little bit of space, and over he goes. Conditions, Warren, are atrocious. It's a heavy 12, the surface. The good news is it is new grass. It has been freshly laid. There is also an easterly, so there is a breeze that is swirling and quite gusty at stages.
Well, we can thank Taylor Swift for the new grass here, given the money she raised while she was in town, both personally and for the stadium, no doubt.
She could have bought the stadium
several times over, I would suggest. Connor Tracy, who will play it here just inside the 20. The Bulldogs on top early as they celebrate the victory against the Roosters in 2004. Max King just outside his own 20. As they scurry for a gain there, going quickly. It was Kurt Mann, another of those changes in the forward pack tonight. Chris Patolo is amongst them. Played just the 2 games last season. Patolo had a serious knee injury quite a bit of the season with bone bruising, keeping him out of action. Dominic Young floating backwards, goes to ground, and the kicking game of Burton. Now that they have the lead, 6 points to 0, you'd imagine they'll try and kick early and have the Roosters pinned at this end of the field.
Well, it's not a bad tactic too to kick Dominic Young the second kick after he dropped the ball in the second tackle, put him under even more pressure. I wonder what he was thinking as that ball went up. But he takes it cleanly. He's got it out of his mind now.
Plenty of line speed here for the Bulldogs as they began the game last week pretty well. They were up in the Rabbitohs' faces, eventually went down 20 points to 16 on Good Friday as Keary kicks for the line. Send them on the attack. This tackle here of Radley and Collins involved in the tackle on Patolo. Radley came out of that all that well. To be okay there at the moment, pushing up, and here he is. A fitness test for Victor the Inflictor. And Smith, a dummy half. Comes across to Keary, little show of the ball. Angus Crichton playing on that left-hand side in the run-on team tonight for the Roosters. They're at the 20 as Smith comes across to Keary, Radley, for Collins, back on the angle. One tackle there, and a good one as well made by Patolo. Smith had to dig for the ball. Keary goes to the outside. It hits the deck, cleaned up. Chance there for Tupou. He passes back on the inside, and Carraz it is who has it for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just a little bit of a nervous start here from the Roosters in these sort of conditions, just trying to tap the ball on. I thought the ball went forward. It's come away now for the Dogs.
Some heavy contact on Victor the Inflictor Radley a couple of moments ago, fellas, but he's been checked by the trainer and given the all clear for now.
And this will be okay, Hoops. Thanks for that as Stephen Crichton, the Bulldog skipper, player here just outside the 30. Ramani comes to King, bounces off the shoulder there of Collins. A couple of the Bulldogs thought there wasn't any wrapping motion in the tackle. The referee disagreed. Set restart here at the back end of the set. There's a bonus for the Bulldogs. So the Roosters will put themselves under pressure here. As Manu waits for the play, the ball comes through Hutchison, the former Rooster who played 5 seasons with the Tricolours. 71 games during those years. Manu. Back through the middle. Kurt Mann comes across to King. Smith is there. So is Radley. Looks to have recovered okay from that bump earlier on Patolo. As Marnie comes left. Burton. Kick out. Trying to find Sam Walker. Crichton there on this right-hand side of the field now. Able to help out Victor Radley as Mann. Comes across to Hutchison. Looks to his outside. Got away from Tupanua for a moment, but he hung on to him only just. Last play here for the Bulldogs. 15 metres out. Goes to Mann. Here's Burton rubbering off the leg there of Crichton. He'll dive on it, trapping and scrapping, and to good effect.
Yeah, well done there by Crichton too. Just trapped the ball and dived on it straight away. Didn't try and pick it up. And get the football back now. It's been a good start here from the Dogs. They're 3 from 3 of 100%. Young trying to get himself involved in the game again. Put that out of his mind, the first drop.
4 Bulldogs there involved in the tackle on Dominic Young. Tedesco jumps out, thinking there might be some space. Now a restart for the Roosters. So it is tit for tat. And the set restarts in the last couple of possessions. And another one here as Maria Hargreaves was held down too long. And Radley, off the back of that, has it just outside the Bulldogs 30, looking to hit back after giving up a try in the opening 60 seconds. Crichton standing there, an offload, not a good one from Tedesco, and then Taff was almost away, picked off by Keary. They roll it across the halfway line quickly, a bit of a juggle there and a bobble. They called Jamin Salmon, hang on to it, said the referee. As Burton plays it, 40 away from the Roosters line. Tracy stepping back midfield, doing some dancing. He could be a real threat back through the middle, given these conditions. He plays it to Manu. Comes to Kurt Mann. Goes out to Hutchison. Now Taff chance for Sherry. Steps back on the inside there against Joseph Swaliti. Taff for Hutchison. Here's Manu. Comes out the back for Mann. In. Bends away. Gives it to Burton. An offload from Mann to Burton. The Bulldogs are in again. A second try. Terrific pass by Kurt Mann, giving the chance to begin this game for the Bulldogs, and they lead 10-0.
Yeah, you can put it down to the defence up the other end of the field. They haven't ball watched the Roosters early. Watch this pass over the top there. They can't make the tackle. Perfectly weighted, straight in the arms there of Burton, who put himself in a great position. I think you'll find it was Sam Walker. Didn't come in hard enough over the top. Some good footwork at the line. Just comes in over the top and he's able to squeeze that ball out. A couple of arm grabs there. And Burton can't believe his luck. Goes over, improves his position, and the Bulldogs are off to a great start.
Well, if only they'd taken their chances like this against the Rabbitohs on Good Friday, because they had so many chances in that game to track down South Sydney. Just kept turning it over at this end of the field, in the second half in particular. Here they are, a couple of visits inside the 22 results already. They lead 10 points to nil. While they are 1-3 after 4 games, the Roosters only one better at 2 wins, 2 losses. This will be an upset of some margin if they could go on with a job here and beat the Roosters tonight. Oh, beside the uprights. Burton. They're off to a blinder. The Bulldogs well on top at 12 points to nil.
A couple of very costly errors for the heavily fancied Sydney Roosters. First, it was Dominic Young. Then their skipper, James Tedesco, just drops a loose ball. Jacob Carraz straight onto it. The Bulldogs shift to the left, and it's Matt Burton who goes over off a Kurtman offload. And it might only be early doors, Warren, but the Dogs will out in the party in the rain at the moment. And the 2004 Premiership side that are all here, they'll be absolutely loving it.
The current Bulldogs are wet on the outside. The old Bulldogs are wet on the inside. They've enjoyed themselves.
So they should.
In the build-up to this one as King. And he brings it out here to play it just outside the 10. Burton at dummy half. Comes to Tracy. Blake Taff was there pushing up in support. A couple of weeks to work out how to best use Blake Taff in the fullback role, but slowly but surely, as we saw with the opening touch of the game, they found a way to get him into the game much more than he was in those first 2 weeks. And it went down to the Eels and also the Sharks, and now Burton will use that prodigious boot to good effect here.
Yeah, well, just the speed of the play, the ball. The Dogs getting up and playing quickly. Tupanua that time, they gave away the penalty. Just with that second effort there, gives away the penalty. They start their set on the halfway line.
This is game 1 of 2, as we mentioned. Beyond this, the Knights and the Dragons. Donald Jones Stadium. Shane Flanagan, the Dragons coach, has won 8 straight games against the Knights. In the charge, of course, in 2024, and looking to keep that streak going in game number 2 here on Friday Night Footy. Tap to the outside. Take a chance going to the edge. But the field, as we said, is in good condition. Cherry playing it. Comes back from Carraz. Here's Marnie. Out the back, chance for Mann again. Looking dangerous through the middle of the field. Hutchison to Burton out the back. Kick out, quick hands. Couldn't clean it up, Connor Tracy. Here's a go. Dominic Young coming across. A chance to wrap him up. Blake Taff is there to make the tackle. Scott Sattler style.
Oh, that was an amazing tackle there. You can see him lining him up. Taff, after scoring the first try for the Dogs, comes up with a pearler. What about the flick out the back to start the run upfield there by Dominic Young? I think it was Manu that got the flick pass, and away they went. They showed how dangerous they are. Here's the ball that goes to ground now. Look at Manu, straight onto it. The flick out the back, that's clever play. But look at him lining him up here. Taff comes across, just dives up under the ball, and that is a great tackle. What a start to the game from Taff.
Boy, they are up for this, aren't they? And he is limping off the back of that contact there, being taken down by Blake Taff. He's a huge body, isn't he, Dominic Young? He came down rather awkwardly On this greasy surface tonight, we'll keep an eye on him and see how he fares in the next few touches. And the Dogs scoring tries, saving tries. Seen Young run a long way in a number of times, especially last year for the Newcastle Knights, scoring 25 tries. And we picked up the ball there. Taff really a chance of getting to him. It was a 50-50 bet. Taff was sensational. Jamin Savin on that right-hand side, playing it for Manu. They've got numbers down the short side here. Hutchison taking on some old teammates in Tupanua and also Luke Keary. Comes through man. Burton. Go wide. Crichton. Chip it straight to Joseph Manu. Hedging their bets. A little shift to the left-hand side, and then somebody was going to kick it eventually. Found Joey Manu on the chest. And here's Young to work it away. Looks to be okay there.
It's a great take there by Manu. We saw how good his hands were just a little bit earlier. And again, back-to-back plays from Manu. The Roosters just haven't been up the other end, have they? When they've got up the other end, they've made a couple of errors. So working the ball in their own half, the line speed of this dog side is really upsetting them at the moment. The numbers in tackles, they're putting them on the ground. They look like they're willing to play tonight.
Radley slow play the ball here on the last tackle in this set. Keary under pressure there from Josh Curran. Deep kick. Oh, an awkward bounce here. Having to go back and tap it in field. Carraz did well in the end, but he was almost embarrassed by letting that bounce as far as he did. Taff comes across. Here's a chance. Tracy. Well, he thought I might try and burn Young on the outside. And then he wore a real shot from Wairia Hargreaves for his trouble.
See, they're playing a bit of footy too. The Dogs not afraid to move the ball. Just trying to hem him in a corner. And they shifted the ball with two passes there. Here's kick out.
Down the short side. He beats Dominic Young cold. He's got Burton backing up on the inside. Draw and pass. The pass is okay. Kick out. And Burton, the Bulldogs have 3.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's clever play. Kick out straight down this right-hand defence of the Roosters. Dominic Young, just have a look at him. Just hobbling, can't make the tackle. They picked it out straight away, kick out straight down. Perfectly timed part. Oh, geez. Maybe flat at best.
The referee was right in line with the Grant Atkins, in line with the pass. He was tracking Viliami kick out and immediately extended the arm saying, that's okay.
Gee, that's clever play there from kick out. Well, whoever called that play down the short side, Dominic Young in all sorts of trouble. Not a great start to the game from him. Hobbling, misses the tackle on kick out. Tedesco coming across, the timing of the pass. And there it is, right on the spot. Burton under the posts. Gee, I didn't see this coming. And they're willing to play the Dogs. They've got their tails up now.
They're celebrating the 2004 Premiership winning team, but this harks back to the 1980s. The Entertainers, the Mortimers, the Hugheses, and a win against the Roosters in that grand final. Here's Burton from right in front. Well, this is an amazing scoreline. 16 minutes gone. The Bulldogs lead the Roosters 18-0.
And Kickout getting himself involved. I said before the game, he's at his best when he does run the ball rather than trying to pass the ball before the line. Brilliant play. Whoever summed that up pretty quickly that saw Dominic Young injured on that right-hand side for the Roosters. Straight up the short side. Burton knew it was on too. He knew he'd break the tackle. Just supported, glided up on the inside and scores. 18-0. Who would have thought?
Tedesco get things back underway. Deep kick-off here, tracking back with it. Burton makes the catch, hands it off to King. Brings it out to be stopped there by Radley and also Manu. Incredible opening to this one. Marnie waits here at dummy half. Slow play the ball there as Tracy manhandled by Smith. Likewise here, Collins and Wairia Hargreaves up very quickly through the middle of the field. So 3 plays gone. Not much happening for the Dogs so far in this set. Curran gets them going in the right direction. Now a little shift, the back end of the set. Kick out again, stepping back on the inside of Manu. Crichton trying to leapfrog and hurdle players. He went across the top there of Sam Walker, was it, who's been left on the ground and may have been dazed, if not concussed, by that contact. Awkward one there for Tupou. The Bulldogs, all they can do is get results from the Roosters. Well, Walker's in trouble.
Well, he's in all sorts of trouble too. He'll have to come off. HIA has to. I think he might have caught the hip with the knee. I think it might have been kick out over the top. Just watch this, just goes low, catches the knee on the way through. Well, there it is from Crichton, just knee in the back of the head. Accidental, I might add. And there's a drop there from Tupou. They haven't come out of the sheds. They've been ambushed so far. The Dogs on a roll. Stop the game and clock. Walker will have to come off here. Stop this game clock. He's here.
On the advice of the independent doctor, surely they would say Sam Walker needs to be looked at. The trainer gave him the all clear for the moment. That's a very concerned looking coach watching on with good reason. Here is the whistle, and as you would have thought,
Connor Watson warming up. They've got an able replacement there. Can play a dummy half, can play halfback, can play 5'8". Walker's off.
So for a bump like that and stay on the ground, it's all the indicators that he should be removed from the field. As we've come to know from the NRL's instructions, and Connor Watson is the man on. So a lot of work to do here. Sam Walker headed for the dressing room for the full HIA. What a chance this is for the Bulldogs. They could lead by 20 plus points here. We're only midway through the opening half. It's Burton to play it. Come on this short side for Crichton. Every time they've been inside the 20 so far, they've scored. And 5 metres out at the moment. Manu floating to the right-hand side. Goes to King. He left Collins in his wake, but he's knocked it on in going to ground.
You just try to get a little bit of width there, the Bulldogs. You see Manu coming out of dummy half. King onto the ball right under the post there. On the way down, it's Woodrow Hargreaves that just knocks the ball out while making the tackle. It's only their first error too from the Dogs. They had a perfect opportunity, great field position, but the Roosters hang on.
Just confirming that is an independent doctor call that Roosters halfback Sam Walker has gone off for that HIA incident. You can see here Stephen Crichton, just an accidental right knee to the melon.
It was quite graphic, both angles we've seen of that contact between the knee of Crichton and also Sam Walker. So we'll see if the halfback can return. Connor Watson there, who can slide into a role in the halves, perhaps as the 5'8", and let Luke Keary do most of the shot calling. He's out there doing exactly that on the left-hand side. And the Roosters here completing at the moment just 4 from 9 sets. Put themselves under so much pressure. Crichton back within 15 of the halfway line from Smith. Goes back to Keary at first receiver. Plenty of depth on this one. Taff at the 20. They bring it back. Good chase line from the red, white and blues. And they wrap up the Bulldogs fullback just inside his own 30.
Well, the most amazing thing, you would have thought both sides would try and play down the middle, not the Dogs. They're shifting the ball at every opportunity. Scored one try on the right, but this is their preferred side. Over here on their left, Crichton and also Kickout together have been dangerous.
Beginning of the season, he's had Viliami Kickout. Absolutely tremendous. Try off the charge down against the Titans a couple of rounds ago as Marnie jumped out. Thought there might have been a set restart. Kick here from Hutchison. Wobbly one again for Tupou. Makes a better job of this one. Comes up with it. Stopped there by Carraz. Plays it for Keary, and now Swaliti tries to get them going from their own end.
Well, the frustrating thing for the Roosters early in this game, well, so far, they haven't been up the other end. The Doggies' defence has been too good. They've forced a few errors. They need to get a result out of a kick here.
Now Collins towards the halfway line. Stopped there by King. Just 6 plays at this side of halfway for the Roosters to this point of the game. Smith, plenty of time there from dummy half. It's in a bit of a helicopter, spinning awkwardly there on the shoulder of Connor Tracy, who brings it back a long way. Then see somebody around about his own size in Luke Keary and says, oh, I'll run at you, as opposed to JWH. Always a good move. There's Sherry. There's no question earlier on in the season about his attack playing in New South Wales Cup for the Bulldogs, but Cameron Serrato on a couple of occasions asked about when a chance might arise for a long absent former Shark. He said, well, just defensively is where he's going to make some improvements. Here's Kickow. He's away. He's got support again. Crichton is there. Tracy's also there. Kickow runs to Tedesco, gets back to his feet. Tedesco left in his wake.
He's out of the game too, Tedesco.
Not in a good way on the sideline. What an impact between Kickow and Tedesco. Marnie through Mann. Here's Hutchison back to the middle. King, he stopped 5 metres out. The play must stop. James Tedesco is in a bad way here on the sideline.
Tackle 5 shorty.
Well, this is amazing. Kickow has had 5 runs for 140 metres. Unheard of. What about the break here? His willingness to run the ball in these sort of conditions. That's not an easy feat. Pushes away from Manu. And you know what? He's coming across Tedesco. He says, you know what? I don't need anyone on the inside here. I'm going to run straight over the top of you. Bang, what an impact. Got his head in the wrong place. And I don't think we'll see Tedesco out there for much longer.
See him coming across, thinking that Kickow was going to stay on the sideline and make a right shoulder tackle. Kickow just propped and turned infield, which put Tedesco's head in the wrong position. It collides with the hip of this man, Viliami Kickow. What an opening for him to this game.
What unbelievable, 140 metres, unheard of. Unbelievable, just rolling the sleeves up and whopping the ball. That's when he's at his best. Tedesco, the good news, he's to his feet, but he's leaving the field.
That is good to see him walking back to the dressing room for his own steam. And a little check there from Stephen Crichton. Of course, New South Wales teammate Viliami Kickow coming across. That's nice to see. It's such a combative game, but there is so much respect between those who step between the lines each and every week. And Viliami Kickow there, nice to see him checking on the condition of James Tedesco. It would be no surprise though, that's game over, you would think, for James here tonight.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
So play back on, kick there from Burton. Crichton couldn't get through the line to put any pressure on the Roosters, so they come up with it. And it's Manu who slides into the fullback role. Problem perhaps ongoing for the Roosters and James Tedesco is the amount of concussions he's had over quite a number of seasons now.
Yeah, and amazing too. 2 men down at the moment, the Roosters, and then had no field position, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Who's it going to be? Who's going to stand up now for the Roosters? They're under the pump.
We'll wait as they work it away here, the Roosters, from their own end. Keary doing the kicking and the right side this time, and Tracy will make the catch to bring it back in pretty good field position for the Bulldogs. But with Walker off the field undergoing an HIA and Tedesco also undergoing an HIA, should they both fail, the Roosters could activate the 18th man, which tonight is the 35-year-old Michael Jennings. What a story that would be. Jennings returning in the same game as this man, Bronson Xerri. There is Jennings warming up because he thinks he's a big chance to be out there pretty soon. Let's go down to James Hooper.
Just confirming the Sydney Roosters captain, James Tedesco, out of the game. It's a Category 1 HIA warrant.
Thanks for that, James. No surprise there. Tip on here from Taff. It'll shift to the right-hand side by the Bulldogs, but Taraz has to go back and clean it up. They've got one more play on the back foot now. Hutchison waits. He puts it in the air for Manu coming forward. So very handy replacement, as we know, in the fullback role for the Roosters. But it's all hands to at the moment for the team trailing by 18.
Yeah, and just having a look at a couple of the Roosters too. Second tackle now. A couple of players not behind the ball yet. You've got to have that urgency now to get yourself behind the ball. Try and get upfield. Try and win a penalty. so they can get in that attacking zone. And there's Michael Jennings warming up on the sideline.
So waiting only for news, of course, on Sam Walker, who has the full 15 minutes to work out what's happening there as Keary comes out to this left-hand side. Manu gives it away to Crichton, standing in tackles, but there's plenty of blue and white jumpers in front of him. Last tackle here for Keary to kick. Far side of the field is going to sail beyond the touchline. Well, not much is happening for the visitors here tonight. A look of resignation there on the face of Luke Keary. Back down to you again, James.
All happening for the Sydney Roosters at the moment. Their halfback, Sam Walker, is also out of the game. Category 2 HIA for Sam, and that means that the 35-year-old Michael Jennings, who won a premiership with the Roosters in 2013, has been activated as 18th man Warren.
The stories are your business, James. This is quite the story, seeing Jennings return in this situation. Here's Curran back on the inside. Kurt Mann now just outside the 40. Marnie waits at dummy half, looks right, comes left. Sam Hughes is out there wearing 10. Coming off the bench for Cameron Ciraldo this evening. Marnie across to Curran. He's been tremendous as a Bulldog in 2024. 2 plays remaining in this set. Marnie for Hutchison. Shows it on the outside, steps back on the inside, comes back to Mann. Cut-out ball there, taken by the Roosters, or knocked on, in fact, by Tupanua.
He read the play beautifully there, Tupanua. To come in and try and cut that off. But the knock-ons cause, gee, they've had some field position, haven't they, the Bulldogs? Not only field position, but where they're starting their set. Right in the middle of the park here. We saw that first, only on the second, or the first play there from the Bulldogs. In this sort of position, we saw Taff get in on the outside of his man and score the opening try.
Get in, get in.
They should be good enough to score again here.
Off the back of the scrum. Dominic Young coming in quickly, and
Don't chase him.
he caught the Bulldog high, the ball coming free. You see the reaction of the Bulldogs. Left on the ground, Blake Taff now in a bad way. The blue and whites, William Kikau saying, Dom, just calm down. You're in the wrong here. Don't escalate things. Stephen Crichton having a lot to say. Dominic Young's had his jersey ripped almost from his body. Kurt Mann shoves him out of the way. And we'll wait and see what the replay shows here. The Roosters are already missing Walker, missing Tedesco. An important 30 seconds coming up for them, trailing 18-0 as well.
Well, if he's hit him square in the head here, he'll be off. That's hit him right on the chin. You watch the replay. In today's game, he's blindsided him, come in, and got him right on the chops.
Right on the jaw, and you saw...
Tell you
saw Taff just slump to the ground. This in every way could be a send-off.
That's a send-off, honestly. I know he was coming in to try to make the difference, but on a much sporter bloke, swinging arm, hit him on the chin. Gee, they're going to be under the pump now, the Roosters even more so, if this is a send-off. Dom.
Let's listen to Grant Atkins. You wouldn't be surprised if he was marched.
He shot out the line, direct contact, it's forceful. Off we go.
A straight send-off. Dominic Young sent off for the Roosters for the high shot on Blake Taff. They've got 53 minutes remaining with only 12, and they trail 18 points to 0. There is no Sam Walker for the remainder of this game. There's also no James Tedesco. It's a nightmare for the Sydney Roosters.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we'll see the reaction now from the Dogs. Just coming in, Dominic Young trying to make a difference. Taff is leaving the field now. Hit high, right on the chin. And I don't think the referee had any option there. We'll have a shot at goal with a man down. I would have thought they'd have kept the pressure on, but anyway, Taff goes to the HIA. What an opening of the game.
So I saw Michael Jennings there a moment ago, activated, of course, with the failed HIAs for both James Tedesco and Sam Walker. And he's out there now taking a place on the wing for the Sydney Roosters, the 35-year-old. Matt Burton, 20 metres out to make this 20 points. No, I, like you, against 12 men, especially now, am surprised they're going for the 2, but they'll make it a 4-score game at an absolute minimum.
Yeah, especially the style that they've played. They've broken the Roosters at will. This Bulldogs attack, we said before the game, they've been much improving. This has been an outstanding performance, easily their best of the season.
Nice strike again by Burton. He makes it 20 points to 0 here against the Roosters. An incredible scoreline. They're down to 12 after the send-off of Dominic Young for the high shot on Blake Taff. Came out of the line. He got him cold across the jaw. You saw the reaction from Taff. And again, it will be no surprise if that's a Category 1 and his night is also over. That doesn't help the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, Taff was out before he even caught the ball. Just as he caught it, just loses it straight away. You could see the reaction. Spray pouring off his head there. Dominic Young sent off.
First Rooster sent off since Nathan Brown in round 23 of last year. Josh Curran on the restart here. Brings it out to be stopped there by Egan Butcher. Coming off the bench now and jumper number 19 as Curran plays it. There's Sam Hughes, runs to Watson. Well, this is an unbelievable first half of action. Raz dances beyond the 20. And able to play it there. No call of held, so they work it to the right-hand side. And the Bulldogs marching their way back towards their own 40. Big metres here for them. Man, to the left-hand side. Need to be smart here and not get sideline to sideline. We've seen how that can work against teams in the past. As Marty kicks going back. Tupou is there. His own 10-metre line. Stopping the tackle by Katonga, who is on there now, playing just his second game in the NRL.
All happening, Warren. Blake Taff, the Bulldogs fullback, has been ruled out with a Category 1 HIA. That now means both 18th men have been activated. So we've got Michael Jennings for the Sydney Roosters. We're now going to have Toby Sexton as well in the game at some stage for Canterbury Bankstown.
There he is on his feet, limbering up. Taff, Category 1 as a result of foul play. And as a result of that, the Bulldogs able to activate Toby Sexton. Well, it's Egan Butcher who'll work it towards the 30. They've got a mountain to climb here. It's probably taller than Mount Everest, to be truthful, for the Roosters. Pass there goes wide and on the ground as well. They've so many times tonight put the ball on the ground at this end of the field. It's helped the Bulldogs away time and again. They lead 20 points to 0. We've still got almost 10 minutes remaining in this opening half.
And that's their 7th error of the first half. The Roosters very un-Rooster-like. They're under the pump at the moment. Just you've got to say the speed of the line. Not the biggest pack in the competition apart from Kickow, the Doggies. But they've got up in the face of the Roosters. Forced the errors.
Nice hands by Burton. Charged down here by Watson. Dives on it to give the Roosters possession. From just outside the 20. If they do have to climb Mount Everest or beyond, the climb begins with the smallest step. Perhaps a chance here to take one of those steps by grabbing a try short-handed. Set restart. Smith jumps out from dummy half. Takes them inside the 10. Taking the ground again. Manu close there to giving away another 6 tackles. Radley. They're played only 5 metres away. Brandon Smith waits at dummy half. Comes out here to Watson. There's Manu. Hop. Stepping Burton up in his face, but Burton makes a good tackle. Get some help from Kickow. Now Keary. Maria Hargreaves runs at Curran. Good one-on-one stop there. Quick play the ball though. Smith jumps out from dummy half, puts a kick in, coming through. Jennings was there, looking to score with his first touch on his return to the NRL.
Yeah, well, that's his danger. The last couple of times he's run with the football out of dummy half. Brandon Smith puts the kick in and behind. The chase is on. Jennings comes through. Cherry is back there Pops a little bit of a knock on the head there. Stays down. That's a little bit better there from the Roosters. First time that they've been able to mount any sort of pressure. They force the line drop out.
Here is Burton. He goes with a short one, breaks the plane. Now it's a contest, and it comes back to the Bulldogs. That's how the game has gone tonight.
Yep, just one of those days, isn't it? The bounce of the footy. No one really going up to take it on the full. And there, right on the spot. I think you'll find it was Hutchinson just cleaned the ball up for the Dogs.
Jennings back in the NRL for the first time since 2020. Incredible that he's made it back and getting this chance with the Roosters. He's played 3 games in New South Wales Cup before being back in the squad tonight and being activated off the back of the concussions to Tedesco and also Walker. Here's Egan Butcher and Reed Marnie. Well, Reed's had some moments this season, hasn't he? Where he's been involved in little melees and fracas time and time again. Game against the Sharks, he was in everything.
Well, he loves to get under the skin of the opposition too, just the way he plays.
Listen a second.
He's always going to go after it.
Any escalation that happens from that will be your fault. Do you understand that? Okay, the penalty's here. I understand that.
Curran here going to ground. Attention over the top, Marnie dragging Butcher out of it. And need to do that. The referee was right on top of the situation. Sometimes Reed just can't help himself. Got to have a bit of that in you. He's going to play in the middle. The dummy half and hooking roll as Reed Marnie does. Tonga playing it there. Now Curran. Just outside the 30. Good metres beyond contact there. 2 plays gone. Right on the right-hand side, chipping into the in goal, wants it to sit down on this heavy surface. It'll go beyond Manu and the dead ball line, and the Roosters get 7 tackles from their own 20.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that. The idea was right there by Stephen Crichton. You'd see Jennings playing on that left wing. He was up in the play, kicks him behind him, no one at home. Idea's right, execution not there.
So as the Roosters work it away, if you've just joined us, just recap very quickly here. In the minutes before half-time, the Roosters used their captain challenge. Dominic Young put the ball down. They rolled the dice and lost after 25 seconds of the game. The Bulldogs scored through Blake Taaffe on their first touch. Burton scored 8 minutes later. Then he scored again. It was 18 points to 0. But Walker was concussed. So was Tedesco. And then Young sent off for the high tackle on Blake Taaffe. There's a bit to talk about at half-time for Vonnie and the crew.
We might have to extend the half-time here to get through it.
Egan Butcher just outside the 20. Here's Radley tipping it on for Keary. Inside there. Carry by Crichton, wrapped up by Marnie and also Hughes. Smith. There's Manu coming to the open side, finding Watson. Triple pumps it, threw a ball there that was almost intercepted by Connor Tracy. Going back, it's going to be cleaned up by Joseph Swali'i, and it's been knocked on by the Roosters is the call.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? You start to try and play catch-up footy. Manu with the flick out the back. Connor Watson not really used to organising, more of a runner.
Good call by Grant Atkins. You saw Tupanua just thrusting out that right hand and making contact with the ball first. Max King leads our VB hard-earned index. Bit surprised at that by the looks of things, Max. Davey Sexton found some humour in that situation. So did Chris Patolo, 41 points for Mad Max.
He's done well too, just rolled the sleeves up in the middle of the park, playing against Wirra Hargreaves and also Collins. I think he's won that battle so far.
Ronson Sherry playing. Ronson Sherry returning in the same game as Michael Jennings. What odds would you have got about that? Not that long ago. Bulldogs get a penalty here. everything just going their way. The numbers are so lopsided from this first half. They've had 60% of the ball. They've completed 17 from 20. The Roosters have just completed 12 from 20. They're handling only a small part of their issues here this evening.
Gee, it's a huge leg up too. When you're working the ball off your own line, you get a penalty there. You head 20 points to nil. Started their set near and around the halfway line. They're up over the halfway line with the first tackle.
Bulldogs haven't scored this many first half points against the Roosters since 2010. Now turning back the clock in lots of ways tonight. Do you reckon the boys from the 2004 grand final winning team aren't enjoying this?
Yeah, I reckon they'd be all over it. That was a team that played with plenty of guts. And that's exactly what's happened here this evening.
And Josh Curran on the ground off the back of this contact. Is there a head clash there between himself and also Brandon Smith? That's exactly what happened. Got a hard head and cheese though. On the cheekbone there, just below the eye for Josh Curran. On the side of the head for Brandon Smith. How he looks right there, I'd say he's destined for an HIA at a minimum. Josh Curran is going to, for the time being, with 2 minutes remaining in the half, stay on the field. We'll see if the Bulldogs doctor, if not the independent doctor, has something to say about that. And in fact, unsurprisingly, the independent doctor says yes. Hey, Josh, we need to have a look at you a little bit closer.
Yeah, he'll get an extended break. I'm sure he'll be back. Knock on the cheekbone there. Clash of the heads.
It's been a night for it. Sometimes goes this way on a heavy field. Not always easy to maintain, despite the almost perfect playing strip in regards to the freshness of it. Relayed just recently, as we said, off the back of the Taylor Swift concerts here at Harcourt Stadium. And King play. There's Hutchison. Short ball, kick out at the line. Came into the game trying to target Sam Walker. Now it's Watson he's got in his sights. Here's Marnie rubbering. Awkward one here to handle in between everybody. It's the veteran Michael Jennings returning, and he's driven into the top turnbuckle. What a tackle. Coming through, Kurt Mann driving into the ribs of Michael Jennings, and he's been rattled by that.
Geez, been a fine for him, hasn't he? Kurt Mann coming from the Newcastle Knights, never gives up on the plate. Jennings, the tackle over the top, put everything into that. Great tackle. He's been good with the ball. He set up a try a little bit earlier, and now he does it on the other side with some great defence.
Well, the man who's into the team, activated by 2 Category 1 concussions, given a real test himself there on his return to the NRL. Unbelievable first 40 minutes we've had here. We've got 45 seconds remaining of it. Raz running a long way. Well, they get a standing ovation no matter what happens here, the Bulldogs. Marnie reaching out to score. Sam Hughes plants it down. Try number 1 in his NRL career. Try number 4 for the Bulldogs tonight, and it's 24 points to nil.
Gee, you can't believe how easy that was, straight through the middle. I know they're down a few troops, the Roosters, but Sam Hughes straight through the middle, takes off from dummy half. Can't believe his luck. Gee, he beat a good tackler there too in Radley. A couple of players in the tackle. One low, Radley over the top, gets caught flat-footed. Didn't really inject himself into that tackle. Got caught. Hughes catches them out. Great pass there from Marnie. Momentum straight over the top. Hughes scores right on the stroke of half-time.
They score seconds after the kickoff. They score seconds before half-time. Talk about bookending this opening half against the Roosters with a kick to come. Burton beside the uprights, trying to convert the try of that man, Sam Hughes. Named in the run-on side, but coming off the bench, the 23-year-old is a scorer in the NRL for the very first time in this his 10th game in the NRL. Burton getting plenty of practice from beside the uprights. He puts it over the black dots. It'll be some ovation. It's only a small crowd, but boy, they have enjoyed this in awful conditions here tonight. The rain, in fact, almost coming to a standstill for the time being. It's been pouring down all day and doesn't want to spoil the party for the Bulldogs, and it has been a party.
Well, they played that good, they've stopped the rain.
That's how good they're going. 26 points to 0.
They should really go on with this. A man down, the Roosters. Let's see the attitude of the Bulldogs to start the second half.
Dominic Young sent from the field in the 27th minute for a high tackle on Blake Taff. We're back underway in this second half. It is Sam Hughes who scored the try just before the break to open up his account for try scoring in the NRL. He plays it there for Manu, who comes across to Carraz. Takes it just beyond the 20. Warren Smith, Steve Blocker-Roach, James Hooper. This one beyond full time will take you to Newcastle. And the Knights will meet the Dragons. Josh Curran back on field. Underwent the HIA at the back end of the first half as well as during half-time, and he's passed that with flying colours, so he's on deck with his trademark headgear to begin. Manu out of dummy half, mixing things up with their kicking game. Find the corner of the field. This will be tough for the Roosters, working out these yardage sets. A man down, 12 versus 13, with 40 long minutes to go.
Well, that was a big thing that Reid Marnie spoke about before the game, is trying to hem in these sort of conditions the Roosters in their own corner. A lot of their players only at the start of the second half still yet to get behind the ball. Look at the line speed here of the Dogs coming out in the second half. See if they can force the error here.
Jennings playing it for Smith, who kicks from inside his own 30. A bit of a top spin forehand down to Stephen Crichton, who, like Joey Manu, wearing 4 but playing in the fullback role because Blake Taff concussed off the back. With a high shot from Dominic Young and out of the game for the Bulldogs.
Well, that's a big win too, just to start their set. An ordinary kick downfield to start the second half from the Roosters. And straight away on the attack. Gee, they've played some good brand of football too, the Dogs. See if they can carry on with it now.
Hutchison goes to ground there in the tackle of Terrell May, who extended his time at the Roosters by 2 more seasons during the week. The tricolours for another 2 seasons until the end of 2026. Good hands by Man. Burton on to kick out. The damaging, block-busting Viliami kick out. The rain begins to tumble down again here tonight as Burton kick it across the face of the uprights. Out here wide, tapped back by Katonga. It comes back to Carraz, who dances, still has it, puts a second kick in. Awkward one for Manu. Did well on his fingertips as we go downstairs to James Hooper.
Bulldogs coach Cameron Ciraldo super happy, loved what the Dogs' line speed defensively had done in terms of being able to allow them to really develop that ascendancy. From Trent Robinson, we're not out of it yet. We've only got 15 men left, but we need to be all effort for the next 40 minutes.
There's 2 missing through Walker and also Tedesco following those concussions. Down a man on the field proper with Dominic Young sent off. Kieran trying to stay inside the 40, put a left boot on the red stripe. It won't matter because it's a 1 bouncer down to Stephen Crichton, who will bring it back. And the Dogs begin here in great field position.
Gee, as good as Taff was, I'm really interested to see Stephen Crichton playing at fullback, coming in to make the extra man. Hard man to tackle. If he gets his timing right, he's going to have a big say in the second half here.
He's looking down the track because they take on the Melbourne Storm next week. Taff won't be available for that, for the 11-day stand down at the back of the concussion. So a choice to be made for Cameron Ciraldo as to what he does. Here is Hutchison. Comes out to the Fill-in fullback for Raz. Hemmed in, runs in behind Bronson Sherry. There's Josh Curran. He goes inside the red zone. One more play for the Bulldogs. Looking for 30 points here. Now grubber by Gideon Katonga. Good tackle there. Coming across. Swept up by Joseph Manu, who's knocked it on. Trent Robinson in absolute disbelief.
Well, that's good play for Katonga. Put the little grubber kick in and behind. Plenty of confidence. Amazing what it does when you're in front on the scoreboard, 26-0. See some big boppers with little grubber kicks through.
So the ball coming free there. And if you did miss the very opening of the game, the Roosters, when Dominic Young put the ball down in a Reid-Marnie tackle, they challenged, lost, and the Bulldogs scored from the scrum win on the very first time they touched the ball. So no challenge available to the Roosters. I think Manu lost that pretty much of his own volition there as Burke stops and starts, goes again. He's rucked up by Radley and also Watson. Slowly back to his feet. No trouble though for the 5'8". Curran charging hard. Now he's put it down.
Tackle 2.
A couple of mistakes as the rain gets heavier here at the
Hits his back.
Sydney Olympic Stadium.
Hits his back. Challenge over.
I just don't think they should be spreading the ball too early in the tackle count, the Bulldogs. Curran makes the mistake there, right through the middle. Rather go wide. You've got to win the right to go wide.
I need seconds.
They did that so well in the first half. And there's the error from the Dogs early in the tackle count. But again, the Roosters caught on their own 10-metre line. You can't get up the other end. That'll help.
And the Bulldogs dumping the gun here up inside the distance from the scrum. So see the rain really lashing down now across this relayed playing surface. Roosters going for plenty of distance on the kick. Well, they might as well take the odds to everything now. Connor Watson came away from a collision on the other side of the field. The far right-hand side has a nasty welt under that right eye. That might be a problem beyond tonight potentially. He's due some luck, Connor Watson, in the time he's missed in recent seasons, both as a Knight and also a Rooster. Egan Butcher inside the 30 from Smith to Keary. Radley now gets an inside ball, runs towards Reid-Marnie. Wants a quick play the ball. They'll head back to the right where Keary goes in and away. He beat two. Gives it to Egan Butcher. He plants it down. Short-handed as they are. 12 on 13. Egan Butcher scores for the Roosters.
Yeah, it's a good little bit of footwork there on the back of a penalty. They went for the distance, the Roosters. Luke Keary trying to do things or make things happen here for the Roosters. A little bit of footwork at the line. Kick out, got caught flat-footed. Pass on the outside to Butcher. Look at that little bit of footwork. Throws the dummy, gets the pass away. Curran can't make the tackle over the top, and Ethan Butcher. And the Roosters open the scoring in the second half.
Just his second appearance in the top grade for 2024. Nice job filling in at the back end of the season with Jared Waerea-Hargreaves out with that suspension. As the Roosters forged their way into the finals. Joseph Suaalii. Well, if there is to be a miracle tonight, it would be a miracle of some proportion given the circumstances. They've given themselves a chance. Waerea-Hargreaves on the sideline getting some attention on the hammies and also the lower back. Nice work by Keary to dummy his way into the backfield.
Yeah, showed his experience there too. He's the man we've all called for to try and get the Roosters back in the game. Keary does it on his own. Nice footwork, good dummy. Takes it upon himself to score the opening try for the Roosters.
Go back.
Saw Trent Robinson there, and those shots off him in the Roosters dressing room during half-time. He had not given up the fight here tonight, despite being down to 12. After the send-off of Dominic Young. Plenty of time on the clock as well in the first half. Full-time tonight, they'll have played 53 minutes, at least a man down. And now there's another issue. Sam Hughes shoved by Roosters. Well, this is turning back the clock to that 2004 season. Suaalii left on the ground here.
Yeah, I think they might have got him for a little bit of a head slam there. Suaalii was through the tackle. I think it's a back slam here. Just gets his way through. Hughes comes in over the top, and there it is. I just think he's doing his best just to fling him to the ground. I think it's just a good tackle. I don't think it's a head slant.
Reaching out initially, left arm up around the shoulders or thereabouts.
Okay, Sam.
Boy, it's pouring down now, and it's placed on report and no more than that. I'm happy with that. It's going to be a penalty. He made a case that it was either a sin bin at minimum or no penalty at all. And had there been no penalty, I also wouldn't have been surprised at that. I think it was just one of those rugby league situations.
Yeah, just an accident. Just sort of beat the tackle and it slammed on the ground, ball and all.
May have been just for the initial contact before the heavy contact on the ground with that reaching action of Hughes, which might have caught Swaliti on the jaw of the chin. Boy, it's as heavy the rain as it's been all night. So another Rooster goes up the tunnel. They'll be praying that he's okay, Swaliti. They've already activated the 18th man in Michael Jennings. Tell us about his split allegiances before kickoff. Did Braith Anasta, of course, being a Bulldog, a premiership winner, and also a Rooster. They might need to call on him. They might be down to 14 if Swaliti doesn't pass his HIA. Radley now. So despite all the drama for the Roosters, they're on the attack, 20 metres out, and it's Keary. Goes it back on the inside here for Terrell May. Torrential conditions. Outdoor Stadium in game 1 of 2 on Friday night footy. Manu fends away there from Hutchison. Almost steps his way through. He'll play it quickly as well. Smith jumps out. Comes out to Butcher again. Looking for a double in double quick time. 6 again. Said restart now. Things turning around as far as possession goes. Here's Tupanua. Caught there in the tackle. Taken down 10 metres out by Jamin Salmon. Got tackles to burn. Keary. Inside there for Naufahu Whyte. Still standing. Making his way towards the line. Only a few metres out. Smith feeds it to Keary. Manu on the sweep. Runs into a dead end. Comes back towards the middle. Watson was there pushing up in support. He'll go to dummy half instead. Takes them on from that position. They'll roll him onto his back and keep him in the field of play. 2 tackles left for the Roosters. Comes back to Radley. He takes them on. He almost went through. Gives it back to Keary. He ran into a sandwich there between Burton and also Salmon. Last tackle. Short side they go. White trying to spin his way in. The Roosters think he scored, and so does the referee. The Roosters have a second. And they're taking step by step, going up the side of Mount Everest.
Well done there by White, just to stretch out and score the try. They've been a different side in the second half. Brandon Smith starting to impose himself, running from dummy half, made a couple of short breaks, but this is just good power. Gets close to the line, slams the football down, White. Brandon Smith and also Keary starting to get a lot more ball now. And the Roosters go back to back.
It's a night for first-time try scorers amongst the front rowers. Sam Hughes, right before half-time, scored for the Bulldogs. His first at this level. Likewise, Naufahu Whyte. Boy, they have got raps on him at Bondi Junction for the 21-year-old. Grabs his first 4-pointer at this level. 26 points to 10. Pick to come from Keary. And they're doing this while they're down to 12 against 13.
Well, they've handled the football a lot better in the second half, haven't they? They made all those mistakes in the first half. Every time they looked like mounting to something, they lost the football.
Luke Keary, no problem, adding 2 more points. It's 26 to 12.
The Sydney Roosters are daring to dream, and it's off the back of a try to that young man there, Naufahu Whyte. insiders at the club have had a big opinion of this young bloke over the last couple of seasons. Normally plays in the middle, but tonight he's been forced to play on an edge because, well, can you believe it, Warren? There has been 5 HIAs in this game. At the moment, the most recent, Joseph Suwali, he is a Category 2, so he is still a chance of returning. We'll keep you updated.
Thanks for that, James. Yes, there's so much to redress tonight once we get to full time to try and work out exactly what happened here. And there was almost half an hour remaining. I'm prepared to say it is very much game on here, despite the Roosters being down to 12. We've seen some 12-man teams win in the past, but this would be in a league of its own should they pull this win off.
Well, they've had to come out in the second half and start well. They've done exactly that. They've scored a couple of tries. Plenty of time left on the clock. They have got some strike players in their football team, the Roosters. They've got to start playing again, the Dogs. Worst thing to happen to them was half-time.
Down the short side, Egan Butcher. What hands there by Tupou. How did he hang on to that, given the way the rain has been pouring this evening? Incredible grab. Keary puts it up. Trying to put some pressure here on Stephen Crichton. There are Roosters there. Manu was one of them. He knocked it forward despite having his back turned towards the Bulldogs line. So it will be Hutchison who ends up with it. Now we'll see what the Dogs can manage as they work it away from their own end. They just need to get a good set together here. Make the Roosters work it away from inside their own 10.
Yeah, that's the thing too. They moved the ball so well in the first half. They've gone into their shell a little bit now. A lot of one-out running. Would have used up plenty of petrol early in the second half with their defence. Let's see if they can come up with a few passes here.
Harrison Edwards is out there now in jersey 15 for the Bulldogs. Kurt Mann, short ball there on the edge for King. Did well to hang on to it in the Tupanua tackle. Matt Burton puts it up. Not a deep one. Forward, Manu in trouble to make the catch despite looking up into the raindrops. Never easy for the back three in a situation like we have here tonight. Keary finds Jennings. Just outside his 20. They're playing for Keary. Here is Tupou coming in for a carry. Boy, they'll need the outside men doing plenty of that between here and full time. Keary taking them on. Really come into his own since the resumption, hasn't he? Now jumping out, Connor Watson from dummy half. Bypasses Terrell May, straightens, and they're just outside the Bulldogs 30. Certainly making more metres at the moment. Despite having the one-man short, Carraz puts it down. Tupou taps it back. It is play on here. Butcher's in again. Or is he?
You only have to look at that set of 6 tackles there, how they just, the little men got into dummy half. Just really made inroads through the middle of the Dogs' defence. Allowing the ball to bounce.
Just reviewing the contest.
Tupou coming through, making the contest. Eyes on the football. I think that's play on. Just taps the ball back in the side to Butcher, just hovering around back on the inside.
Given what we've seen, despite all the talk about disruptors in the off-season, there's been very, very few instances where the bunk has been prepared to say a player is a disruptor. Well, that's play on there.
That's clean bowl.
Trent Robinson is beside himself that they are even looking at this.
Both players jump for the ball at the same time. It's play on at this stage, goes backwards off the Bulldogs.
We've seen catches absolutely cleaned up by men coming through.
Egan Butcher.
And it's play on. This has to be play on. Butcher puts it down. The Roosters are in again. And there are some very, very nervous Bulldogs fans here at Accor Stadium.
Yeah, what about the tap back inside there to Butcher? We saw him clean up a ball there a little bit earlier, Tupou. He's got wonderful hands. Gets the ball back inside to Butcher. They've scored only 3 tries in the second half so far. The Bulldogs starting to slow up through the middle. You see that yardage set there. They went to the middle third and went straight down the middle with their little men. The Bulldogs hard really did it tough to hang on. And they finally found the formula. with the completion rate right up for the Roosters in the second half. Had a lot of ball, some good field position, and are good enough to score.
The Bulldogs, since the resumption, being outplayed by a 12-man outfit. Keary can't bend this back. Stays out to the right-hand side. It's 26-16. Toby Sexton on field now for the Bulldogs. But the game is very much in the ascendancy with the Roosters just reeling them in with 3 straight tries. Butcher has scored twice. Whyte scored. It's all the forwards. It's only a 10-point game.
Well, it's game on now. They've got to step out of their slumber, the Bulldogs. That's what I said. The worst thing that happened to them was the half-time. They wanted to keep playing.
Stephen Crichton out towards the sideline. Michael Jennings with his foot on the chalk. The Bulldogs, they're imploding. What has happened to Canterbury? Burton goes out to the edge on a very shallow restart. That was curious in the extreme given the conditions.
Well, you talk about gifting opposition, especially when they're starting to get on a bit of a roll. Gifted in field position. The Roosters are up tempo now.
So it's Radley. Here they are again to make this a 1-score game. Keary, short ball there for Whyte. What's happening there? He had kick out with his face. Marnie and Hutchison helping out, but they're inside the 20. 3 plays remaining in this set. Keary coming out to link up with Watson. Here is Angus Crichton, gets a big bumper up there in the chin of Toby Sexton, plays it quickly, short side. Manu dances away from Salmon, comes back to the middle where Smith finds Collins. Now Whyte playing on that right edge, taking some stopping. Had his hands full there, quite literally, did Drew Hutchison. Last tackle for the Roosters. Keary, the kick out wide. It's flat, coming forward. They test out Carraz again. They'll drive him back and get a goal line dropout.
Yeah, again, a big play there from Tupou. He dropped 1 ball in the first half, got over that. It's been instrumental now for the Roosters to get back into the game. Some good defence. Butcher involved in that tackle too. Here we go.
Crichton goes long. Coming across, Collins will bring it back to get this set underway. It was almost a Cooper Cronk style kick there from Luke Keary. Just pulling a little Cooper card out of his back pocket there, the current number 6. Flat and hard towards the wing. Now Watson. Here is Keary. Back on the inside. Manu for the corner. Taken down by Crichton. Spins his way in. The Roosters are coming to get them.
Well, the big boys are playing now. Manu scores the try. Gee, that was going to be a good challenge. You saw Manu just go straight through. Stephen Crichton came across, tried to get him ball and all. Hard man to tackle Manu. Spins out of the tackle. Takes him over the line. Look at the pick up there from Watson. They're full of running. Look at the players in motion. The money ball back on the inside from Crichton. Look at that. Spins out of the tackle. And Manu gets over the stripe.
Lovely outside, inside ball. We've seen Ryan Pappenhausen score for Melbourne twice in one game in that fashion. Spinning over. It was very tight as to whether the ball got to the line here, but the referee coming across, Grant Atkins, he saw ball on chalk. I'm happy that in rolling over, Manu does not extend that arm in a double movement style, and well, we'll wait and see. Try confirmed right then by the bunker. They're happy also.
Yeah, they're happy. It was always going to be a great contest. How good was that to watch? Manu through. Crichton coming across to make the tackle. Manu too strong. 4 tries in a row to the Roosters.
Keary misses again. These misses are suddenly proving important. That one on the favoured side of the field for a right-footed kicker in particular. They're going up by 4s at the moment. It's 26-20.
It is a roller coaster ride, and the Sydney Roosters are on the comeback trail. The good news is Joseph Suaalii, the most recent player forced off for an HIA. He has passed. He's now got a couple of minutes remaining, and then he can return to the field of play, Warren.
Joey Manu on the inside ball. Hard to stop. The timing is right as it was then. Well, the Bulldogs, they would like a timeout. If this was the NBA, Cameron Serraldo would make the T sign and say, boys, bring it in. Everybody take a knee. Let's just get the whiteboard out, talk about what we have to do here and just reset. Because they need something badly, and they have the one-man advantage.
Yep, and they're all putting their hands up too. It's been a great team effort so far. The gun players here for the Roosters have got them back in, led by Keary, Manu, those sort of guys putting their hand up for their team. The Doggies are under the pump now.
Angus Crichton, they're finding their fronts here. Quick play, the ball's off the back of it. Manu stepping out. They've been down to 12 men from the 27th minute when Dominic Young was sent from the field for a high tackle on Blake Taff. They've lost James Tedesco. They've lost Sam Walker, both to concussions. But here they are, driving Crichton back inside the 20. They're on top in every way, bar the scoreboard.
And it's amazing when you control the ball what can happen. That was their downfall in the first half. Field position and errors for the Roosters. They've fixed that at half-time, and they are full of running at the moment.
They only had 38% of the ball in the first half, the Roosters. Second half completion rate at 93% after all the errors they made to help the Bulldogs out in that opening 20 minutes in particular. Put down here by Jamin Salmon. It'll be a knock-on. The Roosters have it almost at the halfway line.
Have a look at them celebrating too.
Radley about to return. He's passed his head injury assessment. That's good news for Trent Robinson and the Roosters. There's the ball going down from Salmon. Just the contact from Angus Crichton. This chance to be in the run-on team tonight. Inside the final quarter of this game, and I can't think of a game in recent times more absorbing than what we're about to see in these remaining 18 and a half minutes.
Well, haven't they showed some ticker, the Roosters, down 26-0 at half-time. You would have thought it was all over. Not the Roosters. They've come out firing.
Now left on the ground, there's a problem for Harrison Edwards. Coming out of that contact there with Naufahu Whyte.
Naufahu, just take the ball there.
This is the theme of the evening. It might be a sixth HIA right here. Oh, he stops the shoulder there, or the upper arm of Whyte, who braced. Down goes Harrison Edwards in his first appearance for the season. He's on the development list for the Bulldogs in 2024. I'm playing this game number 17 of his career here tonight, the 23-year-old.
Well, I think he'll be having a little bit of a rest too. Just seeing if his neck's all right. Let's hope he's okay. He's made a difference, Whyte, since he's been on. What a handful.
Cameron Serraldo's got his hands full at the moment. Former assistant at the Roosters for Trent Robinson, Jason Taylor watching on as well. They must be able to scarcely believe their eyes given what has happened. Let's take a look what's happened since the resumption. It began with Luke Keary poking his nose through the line. Egan Butcher scoring the first of two to make it 26-6. Naufahu Whyte 5 minutes later, he went in on the last tackle of a set inside the 20. Then the kick by Keary out to Carraz, a swing and a miss, tapped inside by Tupou. Butcher had a second. Then 3 minutes later, in the 58th minute, from Keary, they come down the short side, Crichton outside, Manu inside, he planted it down. It's a 6-point ball game, Blocky.
Well, what a great game of football this has been. Been all the Roosters in the second half. And no momentum, no field position for the Dogs. Give a good little bit of a rest now. They're calling for the stretcher, so let's hope he's all right.
Can't remember a game, so many concussion situations Davey Sexton, the 18th man for the Bulldogs, already into the game off the back of being activated after the send-off situation involving Dominic Young. Nothing doing there as far as any illegality from Naufahu Whyte, who just carried the ball, and Edwards got himself in the wrong position there. And so we'll have another player leave the field for the remainder of the game.
He used his body well there too, just dipped into the tackle, using the hip. Naufahu Whyte. Be a good little bit of a break. We see Newcastle warming up there.
Kalen Ponga, of course, the Knights are up next against the Dragons. Big game for Newcastle. They've played some impressive football at times so far this season, but they have just the one win to show for their efforts. The Dragons, they are 2 from 2, and they'll be buoyant off the back of what they did in Wollongong last week against the Manly Seagulls. They will think they're a massive chance of going to Newcastle and coming away with 2 points.
You're just waiting to see Newcastle fire like they did last season, especially on their home ground. Anything could happen tonight.
Jackson Hastings is back from New South Wales Cup duty. He's been there for a couple of weeks now. Returns to the NRL tonight. Jaden Brayley also in the starting side for the Newcastle Knights. So Adam O'Brien reacting to what's been happening in recent weeks. Zach Lomax certainly in the headlines, hasn't he been, Blocker, with all the talk about having dinner with Brad Arthur on Wednesday night. No word on what the meal was, but I'm sure it was to Zach's liking, and we'll wait and see whether he comes to terms with the Eels to link up with them in 2025 after being given permission to leave the club by the Dragons at the end of this current season.
Yeah, credit to him. He's playing some good football down there for the Dragons, knowing that he wants out, if you believe everything that's been said about what's going on there. And just business as usual for Lomax.
That is next beyond full time here. Stoppage in play with Harrison Edwards being moved on to the stretcher to be taken from the field via the Medicab. Joseph Manu moving to fullback. Well, he might be there again next week. We'll wait and see what Trent Robinson does, because we know that James Tedesco will be missing for at least next week. And with his concussion history, we'll wait and see how early he is able to return from, well, by my calculations, his 7th concussion for James Tedesco in the last 4 and a bit seasons. A serious situation for him. Became even more so tonight with another bump, this time on a charging Viliami kick-out. Luke Keary has been instrumental in this comeback, this incredible comeback by the Roosters to be down just by 6 points with 18 minutes remaining, down to 12 men since the 27th minute. I mentioned we've seen some 12-man teams win, but they weren't 26 points to 0 down.
It's a huge margin, isn't it? 26-0 half time. Just had no ball, been starved of the ball, the Dogs, in the second half. I mean, all the Roosters. Joseph Manu just coming in his own. I know we mentioned Keary, but Manu's leading the way with 16 carries so far in this game. Leads the way for the whole team. Trying to get himself involved, trying to get his team home. Been a great effort.
So a change forced here on Cameron Ciraldo and also Jason Taylor. Watching on as we saw them in the Bulldogs coach's box. Rain gets heavier once again here. Sammy waiting for a recommencement. Cameron Ciraldo doesn't look like a coach who led 26 points to 0 in almost as many minutes as it turned out. On stage they were ahead of the clock midway through the opening half. Harrison Edwards in good hands, of course. Medical staff of both the Bulldogs and the Roosters available to take a look at him. We'll try and bring you some news on his condition before the end of this game. We've got 18 minutes remaining. We are back underway. Angus Crichton brings it down here towards the 30 as Brandon Smith waits at dummy half. Keary at first receiver, floating sideways. Collins put it on the ground. He poked his nose through the line, cleaned up there by King. He thought there was somebody pushing up off his hip.
Yeah, just need a little bit more close support. Collins going straight through. Could be the turning point too now. We've got to see the Bulldogs get on board. They need some of their big guns to get on board again now. Kick out. The more he gets his hands on the ball, the better they be.
Good work by Manu, who was over the top there, helping to make the tackle and force the ball coming free from the hand of Lindsay Collins. Crichton there coming out of the line, looking for a big shot on Max King. Second last play in this set. Here is Hughes. Collins thought he was a chance of coming in for an impact for a moment there. Pulled out of it. Manu comes across to Sexton, who puts it in the air. Floating backwards, Swaliti leaves the ground. Wrapped up by Burton. And he'll play it there. Connor Watson, that mouse under his right eye has certainly grown since that bump earlier in this second half. But he's okay to continue on for the moment. Manu. Here's Tupou now. 3 plays gone for the Roosters.
Yeah, might be a case that he has to stay out there now with all the troops down. Connor Watson will be a gutsy effort.
Big carry there by the man in question, Blocky, is Manu now. Oh, a call of forward from dummy half. Their hands have been so good during this comeback, but a pass at the advantage line from Smith to Manu called forward by the sideline official. Hard to argue with that one.
Yep. Look forward to just trying to play right on the advantage line. Now the Dogs look out on their feet now. The last set that they had was a lot of one-out running. Now in the first half they moved the ball around brilliantly. They need to get back to that. They've had a breather now. Got to get back to that style of footy.
Hutchison with the scrum feed. There's Manu who comes out here to Burton, got away from Tupanua. And go a long way towards the 2 points available if they could score a try here, the Bulldogs. There's still more than a quarter of an hour remaining. King, 15 away. Play it comes to Hutchison. He just takes them on. Does that a lot at this end of the field. Drew Hutchison so far in 2024 as a Bulldog. Marnie goes through Sexton. Burton had them backpedaling. They found some space against this 12-man Roosters outfit. Burton, he scores. It's a double-figure lead once again.
Yeah, work the ball to the middle, right under the post there, and then go to the left-hand side. Love it when Burton backs himself. Don't forget the Roosters are a man down. You called it. They started to back off because they were done for numbers. Burton gets the football, says, I'll do it all myself. Gets on the outside of Tupanua. And the Doggies, after a good pick up there from dummy half from Marnie. The show and go. Just got done for numbers. He backs himself there to score the try, Burton. Didn't they need that, the Dogs?
An expensive forward pass by Brandon Smith. Joey Manu gives the Bulldogs possession. They punch it through the middle and then go wide to find some space against this 12-man defensive outfit. And Burton try and make it 2 converted tries the difference here. With a kick from about 5 in from that eastern touchline. Really their first scoring chance in this second half. It's a long time coming and hard to imagine we'd get so far into the second half and they would have conceded so many points up against a 12-man opposition. Burton here. Push the Bulldogs out by a dozen. Still time for a wild finish though at Accor Stadium before we take you to the Knights and the Dragons of McDonald Jones. Burton's attempt goes wide. It stays at 30 points to 20.
The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs have been looking for their superstar number 6, Matt Burton, to really take greater control of the Bulldogs side and steer them around. And well, he's done it tonight, as you can see. These are the highlights of his hat trick. That one off a Billy Kickout bust, an earlier try, and then here we have it. The Roosters down to 12 men, and he takes advantage of some tired defence down Canterbury's left edge. Now we've got you covered on Fox League as always. Don't miss. Coming up next, the Newcastle Knights at home against St George Illawarra.
That would be a beauty on Friday night footy right here on Fox League. Thank you for that, James. I don't think it was a coincidence, or maybe not lost on Bulldogs fans. Matt Burton, a bit of a lightning rod for opinion as to whether he should be playing in the halves or maybe in the centres. There he was playing at left centre, where he made a name for himself for the Penrith Panthers. He looks right at home on that edge, doesn't he? Just one wider.
Yeah, just a big body too.
Here he is again, poking his nose through the line, playing just a little bit wider with Toby Sexton on his inside. He supplied the ball for the try, and now Manu comes back to the middle. A glimpse at the future here for the Bulldogs. And Burton at left centre as opposed to playing in the half. Sexton is battled to get a chance in 2024, has one now.
It falls out. So it doesn't matter about the direction. The tackle's complete and lost.
So it will be a knock on there by the Bulldogs, and the Roosters will have it, and still with plenty of time on the clock.
It's amazing how the possession's turned right around. You have a look at kick out, 149 in the first half. He's only run for 8 metres in the second half. Haven't got him the football. Another error to the Bulldogs. A turnover on the halfway line. Straight away in field position now, the Roosters.
They win the scrum. Here he links up with Jennings. And he'll play at 45 metres out. They've scored 4 tries, incredibly. 12 on 13 in this second half. If they can grab one, the next few chances they have, we'll have a grandstand finish tonight. Radley on the inside there for Naufahu Whyte. He's certainly been a big part of this comeback, coming off the bench in the second half. Radley shows the ball, takes them on, wrapped up by Salmon as Smith finds Manu, skips to the outside, runs a Sexton, big fend on him, likewise Burton. Gives it off to Tupanua, but going sideways like that, the Bulldogs having an extra man in the defensive line, wrap them up pretty easily. Keary chips one to the corner, leaving the ground from in the field of play. Tracy couldn't take it. Swaliti forced it.
I've got a no try.
And the call initially is no try from the referee.
And Swaliti has knocked it on. He might have got a grab on the ball here. Perfectly weighted kick from Keary.
Chase distributing the contest.
Swaliti over the top of the much smaller man. No, I think it's knocked on by Tracy. In the Swaliti. We might get the ball back here.
Arms extended, contact there by Tracy first into Swaliti, who then knocks it on subsequently, trying to go to ground if he didn't knock it on in the first contest. But I think first touch here by Tracy there.
Connor Tracy makes contact with the ball first. He then loses it forward into Joseph Suwali.
It's a big call. They'll get the ball back here.
Double knock on. We have a decision.
You get your hands still first. You're going out there for a scrum.
So the 20-year-old goes close. The bunker confirming what Grant Atkins saw live on field.
No, it's in the field of play where he first takes possession.
Here we are in the 69th minute. Roosters will get possession 10 metres out, trailing by 10.
Back foot.
He knows it is game on here, Trent Robinson. He can sense if they score here, they can storm over the top of the Bulldogs and claim one of the more courageous wins in Sydney Roosters history, and that goes all the way back to 1908. It's Keary from the back of the scrum. Swaliti comes to Watson. Manu sliding, beats an advancing Bronson Sherry. Comes back towards the middle where Sherry comes again. And I'll take him to ground just outside the 10. Smith for Keary. Waria Hargreaves. Size getting warmed up on the sideline. He's good to go at the end. Here's Keary. Short ball. Crichton. Hutchison was there. So was Josh Curran. Sam Hughes helping out. They can't get Crichton to ground though. Smith to Keary. Shows it. Takes them on himself. Fires it out the back. Cleaned up by Manu. Skips to the outside again. Staying with him. Good job in the end. The tackle made by Sexton. And the 2 plays remaining, or they won't get them because the ball's been put down by Joey Manu.
He's down first.
Gee, he's been a handful, Manu. Just beating tackles at will. This time he loses the ball, trying to get to his feet quickly. Is there a hand or a...
That's what we were saying after they lost their captain's challenge in the opening minute of the game, and that's exactly what Trent Robinson was saying. He wasn't blowing up at Joey Manu. He was giving the referee a serve there. Burton able to take the odds to it and remove his hand, helping the ball out at the same time, knowing the Roosters can't challenge. And that's the problem when you challenge and lose as early as they did.
Yep. 100% right. They lost their challenge real early in the game. Good play there by Burton, knowing the rules, knowing that they can't challenge on that. Just got a little hand on there, just ripped it out. Pretty easy to do too when Manu's always trying to offload the football. And just get a little hand in there.
Problem for Viliami kick out. Left knee, looks like it's about to get some taping done. See if he's able to get past the knee test initially with former Roosters trainer Travis Toomer. Down to you, James.
An update on Bulldogs forward Harrison Edwards, who was taken off on that Medicab a couple of moments ago. He is sitting up in the dressing room. He is responsive. The signs are positive, and it has been deemed as a Category 2 HIA warrant.
Thank you for that, James. Good news for Harrison Edwards. That was concerning the way he was taken from the field off the back of that concussion. Looks like they're confident Viliami can continue on with a bit of a take job, so allow him to get that done as we take a look at, of course, State of Origin coming up June 5, Game 1 right here at Accor Stadium. You can be here to witness every moment of real rivalry. Tickets at nrl.com/tickets. I was fascinated to hear during the week, Blocky, that Michael Maguire, the new South Wales coach, thinking about having his camps for those Origin games this year up at Lura during the middle of winter.
It wasn't cold up there.
1,000 metres above sea level. Maybe he's thinking about some altitude training. This doesn't look good. The kick out, he might need a hyperbaric chamber to be able to continue on. Yes. Imagine a day like this in the middle of winter up there at Lura, preparing for an Origin game. It's pouring rain and it's 2 degrees Celsius. That'll be fun.
It's not a bad spot, mate.
While the Maroons are up on the
sunning themselves
on the Gold Coast at Sanctuary Cove. I know where I'd rather be. As much as I love the mountains, here is King.
I'm with you.
And just outside their 20, the Bulldogs. 9 minutes remaining. They've had some chances in the last couple of moments, haven't they? Mark. He's got a trace coming in field, bouncing away from Smith. Boy, there's to be some tired Roosters. Brandon Smith amongst them at the end of this game. Hutchison, his kick. Bounce down to Tupou, who will bring it back. Straight, he runs towards Curran. And also Kurt Mann. So still time for the visitors tonight. First half possession, 62% of it to the Bulldogs. Boy, it swung around though. A complete mirror image so far in this second half, going the way of the Roosters.
Yeah, a bit of their own worst enemies in the first half too. The Roosters come away with 9 errors. And they've fixed that up at half-time. It's amazing when you start to get yourself on a little bit of a roll, the little men start to churn out the yards through the middle. That's exactly what they've done here.
Crichton playing it. Smith comes back to Keary. They'll test out Crichton here. Carraz breathing a sigh of relief. They didn't kick to him again. Crichton grabbed here inside his own 10 and pokes his nose through the line. He'll play it there, and now he stays on the ground.
As he twisted his ankle as he tried to struggle for every centimetre there, Crichton. Just trying to break tackles. An ankle injury there by the look of it. High sprain. Look at him fighting for every inch.
Connor Watson trying to hang on. Re-grips. And then Radley just threw himself at the back there of Stephen Crichton. And the bunker taking a look at that, talking to Grant Atkins. We'll wait and see what they say.
You're in trouble if you come down on the back of the leg.
It's
The
on
legs.
report.
It's on report. And he's in the
Victor
bin.
Radley goes to the sin bin for a hip drop style tackle on Stephen Crichton, and it's 13 versus 11.
He's dropped on the back of one leg here. Gets beaten out of the tackle, and then so that's pretty dangerous.
He just jumped in the air, left the ground completely, Radley, and his weight came down those lower legs on the legs of Crichton. It was a very cumbersome, awkward-looking tackle. And I don't think Roosters fans would have any complaints about that being a sin bin. Seen some hip drops in recent times. Lachlan Galvin suspended. Max Platt likewise from last round. And the focus now very much on that style of tackle again here in 2024, given what it can do. We have players out of action for a long time. Beyond this one at full time, it is the Knights and the Dragons. That's up next. Here's the Bulldogs trying to put this one to bed. Given a golden opportunity now, a two-man advantage. Kick out goes to Marnie. Come up quickly, Keary jumping out of the line. Ball goes to ground. Curran runs towards Waria Hargreaves. Smith was there as well, driving in around the hips. Last play for the Dogs. It's Hutchison. Lob it there. Carraz coming forward, doesn't get to the contest in time, so Manu comes down with it. And now this 11-man Roosters outfit tries to work it away from inside their 20.
Yeah, you can see the fatigue of the Dogs there. Put up the bomb. No one really competing for the football. Had to do a lot of defence here in the second half.
No Watson out of dummy half. Keary back on the inside. Ball goes to ground though. That might be the last roll of the dice against 13 men, although they're going to get a penalty. The Bulldogs up inside the 10.
That's a big penalty for the Roosters. I'm surprised Keary's really trying to get on with the job here. They're down a couple of men. Slow it down a little bit. Here they go.
Crichton here to take it inside the 30. Remarkably, with 11 against 13, if they score here, they can still steal it. Butcher just outside the 20. Comes to Keary. Now Manu. Jennings, good hands. Tupou back on the angle. Daniel Tupou scores. This is remarkable. It's unbelievable. But 11 versus 13, and the Roosters can still win this game.
Well, can you believe it? They got the overlap on the outside here on the left-hand side. Tupou off the left foot. Shows great power. Carraz just went in to make the tackle. A couple of the Bulldogs over-chased and slipped over. And Tupou was good enough to score. Manu involved again. Jennings with the catch and pass. That's great football here for the Roosters. They can't stop him that close to the line. 3 Bulldogs involved in the tackle. Tupou too strong. And they'll rush this kick. 4.5 minutes left. What a comeback. Geez, they've won some fans tonight, the Roosters, with their ticker.
Well, a comeback by the Roosters. What a collapse by the Bulldogs. Swaley to make it a try the difference. Flags in the air. 4 minutes remaining. Daniel Tupou scores the try for the 11-man Roosters and will give them a chance here to pull off their most unlikely victory in 116 years of rugby league in this country.
Well, I can't believe that they got him. Look at Trent Robinson. He's up out of the seat. Tupou gets the try. Wow, what a finish we've got here.
It's 30 plays, 26. Max King leads the VB hard-earned index. I'll tell you who leads the Gaviscon index. It's Cameron Ciraldo. He'll be gumping out antacids by the bottleful at the moment. He can barely watch. He's stony-faced. He looks like an Easter Island statue in the coach's box. Might turn to stone if they lose this one. Here are the Roosters. They're down by 2 men. Swaliti playing it. Smith comes to Manu. He's been great since moving to fullback in this second half. Down a man as they are. Keary headed back out to the left-hand side. One more tackle left in this set. No time to panic yet. They need to kick long. Manu does exactly that. They need a chase here, though, to limit the metres for the Bulldogs, or maybe force a mistake with a defensive ambush.
Well, that's been unbelievable, hasn't it, the second half, considering it was 26-0 at half-time. Oh, the Dogs trying to flop the ball out the back.
Backwards is the call from Grant Atkins. An unbelievable ball put down there. They got away with one. Could have gone anywhere. Tracy takes it beyond the 30. Midway through the set. Hutchison for Carraz. Bounces off the tackle there of Smith. Crichton also involved. They've got a two-man advantage and they can't find a way through at the moment. It's been safety first this set. Here is the last. Hutchison under pressure. Gets a kick away. Manu makes the catch on the full. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. And they'll begin 15 short of the halfway line.
Yeah, it was a good effort there from Connor Watson to put pressure on. Hutchison with the kick downfield. Manu just takes off, makes 20 metres upfield. The Roosters not done with yet.
They're playing with house money. Absolutely nothing to lose. All the pressure on the Bulldogs. Smith for Keary. Watson was back on the inside. Keary hangs on to it. Pops it out the back. Knocked on by Manu. The Roosters turn it over. Keary had Watson on the inside, took it himself, makes an error, trying to keep the ball free.
Gee, it would have been game on had Manu been able to scoop that ball up. We know what great hands he's got. Knocks the football on. That's a reprieve there for the Dogs. Out on their feet, both sides. What a contest this has been in the second half.
Here's Tracy with the ball. Just over a minute remaining. Just need to work it downfield and then put together one good defensive set. Not even a full set. 60 seconds on the clock now. Hutchison comes towards the tackle there of Watson. Here's the last for the Bulldogs. Do they run it on the last? No, they will put a kick in. Sexton goes to Manu. They'll wrap him up inside his own 10. Just over 40 seconds remaining. He said they had to climb higher than Mount Everest. Well, they're just about there at the top. But they're going to come up short if they can't get the ball back underway here. 30 seconds remaining. One more just minor hill to climb. It's Smith showing it from dummy half. Nobody pushing up though. They're out on their feet. Now Manu, he kicks wide, chasing through. It'll skip into touch. Tupanua was there. The Bulldogs given the scare of their lives. But they've hung on here to beat firstly 12 men, then 11 for the last 6.5 minutes. There is no celebration from the coach given what happened in this second half. But at full time, the Bulldogs 30 have beaten the Roosters 26.